Hello everyone, it's another video here from me. This is a response video to Gold Standard 00924's Chapter 3 in his series, Wrestling Reimagining of 2006. This is the No Way Out episode that he did. He booked a pretty good card, just one little flaw in it. It's that judging by what he said, he was going to try and keep it as real as possible. But Hardcore Holly was out, injured. I pointed this out to him in the comments section, so obviously he knows that now. So he will have to go check things out. I'm one of those sticklers. If someone was injured during or was released, whatever, I'll put it into my list because I like to keep the things as real as possible. Maybe he just forgot, but okay. He put together a really good card here. He got Brian Kendrick versus Paul London. They'll probably tear the house down. It's not the match I've done, but he put Finlay against Hardcore Holly. Cash versus Chavo Guerrero. Bobby Lashley versus Mark Henry. I stole that match, believe it or not. That's going to be on my card. M&M versus the Mexicals versus Matt Hardy and Animal, as well as William Regal and Paul Burchill in that match, Four Corners match. Kurt Angle versus JBL for the World Heavyweight Title, and he for the number one contendership for the World Heavyweight Title. Sorry, best of 7 series for the U.S. Championship match. He just extended that to No Way Out. I understand his reasons why, but look, things with titles, they gotta be done together really well. Triple threat match: Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Undertaker. That's a good set of matches. Now, seeing as I did a bunch of different stuff than him, I did a lot similar to what they actually did. I think early on, a lot of the stuff probably would have worked. I just did. Let me run through my card here because Gregory Helms comes over after winning the Cruiserweight Title and getting a SmackDown contract at the Royal Rumble, officially signing it, becoming part of the SmackDown roster. He comes in, he wins the Cruiserweight Title. We reintroduce Gregory Helms because that's something that they didn't really do that well. They didn't really reintroduce Gregory Helms in a great way. So we bring him over to SmackDown. He's interviewed probably by Michael Cole or someone at who would have been around at that point. He does a sit-down interview, and it's over the next few weeks because also during this time something else will be happening, but we're reintroducing the character. He's run through his history, and he speaks. He says he has to be known as Gregory Helms because Shane McMahon is a part of this company. At this point, I don't think he had been released yet because no one else could be named Shane. That's shoot, people. That's the only reason he couldn't be known as Sugar Shane Helms. He talks about his history in WCW. He talks about coming over here and becoming the Hurricane. Now, I don't care which way he goes with it, but I would probably end it off saying that he kind of felt trapped in that mask, and he needed to, in order for him to grow, he had to lose the mask, lose the goofiness, and come back around to it. He's very proud of the Cruiserweight division. He thinks it's an integral part of the SmackDown roster, and hopefully it will be around for a long time to come. He puts over all the Cruiserweights. He says they're some of the best athletes not taking anything away from the heavyweights. He's very, I'd probably be a little bit less diplomatic about it. I would say, look, you're angry about certain things and you're but you're hopeful about the future and stuff like that. But basically, it comes down to him giving a rematch to Kash. After this, he says he's only going to take on the best. In order to qualify any points in the title, you have to be the best. If you want to face me, you've got to be in your A game. If you want to try and take this from me, you're going to have to be in your A+ game. Eminem taking on who I would call, and I'm going to put this in there, the new generation throwbacks. That is Road Warrior Animal and Tatanka. Now, this is just a bit of fun for the evening, because obviously after I would give Kash and Gregory Helms a bit more than 10 minutes actual in-ring time. I'd probably give them 12 to 15 minutes to open the show. I would want them to give this would probably get less time. This would probably only get about 10 minutes. And basically how this comes out, very basic. During a 6-man tag, Tatanka manages to get a pin on Joey Mercury. And it would have been him, Road Warrior Animal, and Rey Mysterio in a 6-man tag semi-main event of SmackDown one time, and that qualifies them for tag team title match. And they do pretty well, and they're about to hit the Doomsday device. Animal's putting Johnny Nitro on his shoulders, and Tatanka's about to come off with his bionic elbow, or whatever it was he did, because I would want it to be something different than the Doomsday device. It'd be a Indian Day device, something like that, but like it would be something different. But it backfires. He gets tripped up. They manage to get the pinfall on him due to interference from Melina and Joey Mercury in the match. It comes really close, but it's a very short match. After that, we have the U.S. title match. Now, during the time that we had the Best of 7 series, there was kind of a logjam around the U.S. Title situation. Like, people weren't getting regular title shots, and people weren't qualifying for those title shots. So, Teddy Long tells Booker T the first SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, okay, I know you're not 100% yet, but Chris Benoit is entitled to a rematch because he wasn't the one defeated in the Best of 7. You weren't the one that beat him in the Best of 7 series. It was Randy Orton. If you remember, he was substituted. So I don't know how much of the last I would have had to book of SmackDown I would have had to book, but obviously some stuff would have had to have changed. So I would have just done what they did. I think that and it would have worked out. I think Randy Orton would have been a perfectly fine substitute for Booker T in those last couple of matches that they did. I think they worked around it all right, because it was clear that Booker T was probably going to get the belt back, and then it was going to go. Anyway, so what happens is there's a tournament, and in that tournament there is a standout match. There would be a standout match between Matt Hardy and Gregory Helms in a qualifying match. It would have been let's just those two together probably would have put on a clinic. They would have gotten time and everything. It would have probably been one of the best matches that month. And yeah, that match would put over Matt Hardy and Gregory Helms huge. There would have been a few other matches. Like I haven't doled out the tournament, but basically what it would come down to is JBL versus Matt Hardy. and the match goes on, and we bring up the history between the two, that they did face off, and he got smashed by JBL in a match at Armageddon. This is the first time these two have touched since then, and the match just goes off the rails. They brawl into the crowd. They're counted out. They brawl through. This is the opening segment of the show. They brawl through the arena, and they can't break them up. They can't, you don't have to show blood or anything, but that they're brawling throughout the arena. And it's not until about halfway through the show, top of the first hour, that they comes down, and Teddy Long's able to break it up and says, "Guess what? Because you both got counted out, you're both into the final, and you both clearly want to tear each other apart. I'm going to make it a fatal 4-way at No Way Out for the U.S. title." Okay, and then comes to this. It's a little bit more, the tension has been settled down between the two of them, and Matt Hardy gets a pin on JBL, winning the U.S. title. So Booker T didn't lose the belt. Neither did Chris Benoit. But JBL, he's basically in there to put over Matt Hardy. Now, there was some problems with Matt about this time. This is the reason why he was kind of de-pushed after coming to SmackDown, I believe, is that he came over after the Matt and Lita, Edge Matt and Lita thing bowled over. He came over to SmackDown, and at Survivor Series, if you remember, Randy Orton was celebrating the Raw vs. SmackDown win in the Survivor Series match. Matt Hardy didn't come down, and he was supposed to get chokeslammed, just like all the other guys from SmackDown in that end thing, and Randy Orton belt to the back. Now, yeah. Here's the match I stole from Gold Standard, because I thought, what better way to use Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry? Bobby Lashley's been on a bit of a Goldberg-esque winning streak, and I don't think it's quite time to end it yet, but it's time to ramp it up. Mark Henry kind of sees this big African-American man, I assume that's where he's from, coming up behind him. He's been on a bit of a hot streak, and he failed to win the title at the Royal Rumble, and he lost the subsequent rematch on SmackDown. And he's like, I've got, in order to get back into contention, he's got to have something big happen. So he challenges Bobby Lashley, the new hot and up and comer, to a match, and he loses. This wouldn't be a long match either. Probably no more than 10 minutes, plus entrances. But that fatal 4-way probably would be a bit longer, because you got Booker T, you got Chris Benoit, you got Matt Hardy. They can essentially carry JBL around that match. So this match wouldn't be short. Would be kind of short, because it's two big guys, and honestly, two big guys in a match, probably not a lot going on. But you don't need to go balls to the wall with this, because this is probably the first in a series of matches that these guys will be having throughout the year. I honestly don't know going forward what I'm going to do going forward, but I've got a rough idea of what I'm going to do for WrestleMania and what the setup for next year's WrestleMania will probably be. But individually, no. But I'm probably going to put these guys together again, because I think this would be, ideally, you got the young guy and you got the experienced veteran in Mark Henry. Kind of know what to do with each other. So essentially, it's spear. Now, if he can get him up for a running power slam, or the Dominator great, but if you can't, just a spear, bang, 1, 2, 3 in the ring. I think that would be good enough. Then we move on to Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Now this wouldn't I hesitate to put the title opportunity at WrestleMania on the line because he can't, in my world, Rey Mysterio did everything possible to hold on to that spot, and Randy Orton came in a little bit earlier as well to win that shot, shots. But Ray's gonna have to go over here as opposed to what actually happened. No, Ray goes over here clean, 1, 2, 3. That's and guess what? The main event of WrestleMania will be Rey Mysterio versus the champion. Okay. Then we've got Undertaker versus Kurt Angle. This is exactly the match that happened at the show. Exactly the same. That's all you need to do. Kurt wins, and that's what happens. Don't need to change anything. Now Gold Standard had to change things because he changed the setup. But man, these guys, that night, magic just happened. So I'm not going to change it. So we leave that. Now WrestleMania 22. Let's have a look, shall we? How many matches? Because I would have to look at the show. We have 11 matches. I'm probably not going to put that many into it. Because I look at this and I'm like, there's a lot. Every match is essentially a one-on-one match. Most of them are. Probably not going to do that, but we've got a handicap match, we've got a hardcore match, we've got some superstars returning, we got Mick Foley coming back. I got a lot of work to do. So overall, guys, let me know what you think. Hopefully Gold Standard does get to see this. I thoroughly enjoyed, I put this together really quick, so honestly I don't know what else will be happening, but 6 matches is apparently all I needed because the previous show there was only 6 matches, and the reason I stuck it to that many is because I had a couple of multi-man matches and a tag team match. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. See you all next time.